Hi, welcome to Grey Horse Yoga. This week's video is going to focus on helping us transition a little bit into the fall season. So we're going to do some sun salutations to start with, warming up the body, and then things that are beneficial this time of the year are spinal twist and some lateral opening for the sides of the body and some back bending. So the only thing that you will need today, if you have yoga blocks for our revolved triangle pose. If you don't have yoga blocks, no worries, you can use a small stool or a chair. And if when we get down to our seated pose, you'd like to sit up on something, I have a blanket. You can also use a small cushion, firm cushion, a folded up towel, anything that helps to give the hips a little height in a seated position. So we're going to start with a couple rounds of our sun salutation. So come to the end of your mat, feet hip distance apart, lining the feet up parallel with each other. Think of the inner arches of the foot lifting, the kneecaps lift, the sternum lift. There's energy right up through the crown of the head. Let the hands rest down by your side. Let the palms face forward. And just for a few moments, close the eyes if that feels comfortable for you, and just let your focus turn inward. Take a few deep breaths, inhaling and exhaling through the nose. And just take a moment to notice the flow and the rhythm of your breath. Notice how your body feels. And just let all the distractions of the mind just drop away. And then very gently let the eyes open. As you take your next inhale, float the arms up and overhead. Bring the palms together. Exhale, bring the hands to the heart. Let the knees bend, fold all the way down. Forward bend. Inhale, come halfway up. Let the hands slide up the fronts of the legs. Lengthen through the crown of the head. Nice flat back. You can keep the knees a little soft here if the hamstrings are tight. Exhale, fold all the way back down, letting the crown of the head release down. And then take a big step back with the right leg and with the left leg coming to an upper push-up position, plank pose. Wrist under shoulders, feet hip distance apart. You can automatically drop your knees down to the mat for a little support for the back. Lengthen through the crown of the head. Make sure you're breathing. Make sure the hips aren't sagging if the knees are lifted. Inhale and exhale. And then release the knees down. Either cross the feet at the ankles or just leave the feet on the mat. Bend the elbows. Exhale, lower all the way down onto the belly. Straightening the legs, hands beside the chest, forehead to the mat. Inhale, lifting up, low cobra. Draw the shoulder blades together. Lengthen through the crown of the head. Exhale, lower down. Press into the hands. Inhale, come up to table pose. Curl your toes under. Send your sit bones up and back first. Downward facing dog. So stay on the toes, knees bent. Check the alignment of the hands. Make sure they're shoulders distance apart. Couple breaths here. Inhale and exhale. If you like, you can pedal through the feet a little bit. Press down through one heel. Let that leg straighten. Then gently switch to the opposite side. Inhale and exhale. And then as you pedal the feet, start to walk the feet towards the hands. So take tiny little steps, bend the knees as much as you need to. Walk all the way up, standing forward, bend. Inhale again, come halfway up, lengthen through the crown of the head. Exhale, fold all the way down, float the arms out to the side, coming all the way back up. Let the palms come together overhead. Exhale, bring the hands to the heart. Take a breath. Inhale. And exhale. We'll repeat that once again. Inhale, float the arms up. Palms touch. Exhale, fold all the way down. Forward bend. Inhale, halfway up, lengthen through the crown of the head. Exhale again, fold all the way down, let the knees bend. This time, step back to plank pose with the left leg leading. Left leg steps back. The right leg steps back. Again, make sure the wrists are under the shoulders. Lengthen through the crown of the head. Make sure the hips aren't sagging. Bring the knees down if you need that little extra support for the back of the body. Another breath here. Inhale and exhale, and then release the knees down. Again, the toes can stay down on the mat, or you can pick the feet up, cross the feet at the ankles. Exhale, lower down, bend the elbows back towards the hips, lower all the way onto the belly, straighten the legs, hands beside the chest, forehead to the mat. Hug the elbows in, press into the feet. Inhale, lifting up, low cobra, lifting from the back of the body. Exhale, lower down. Press into the hands, inhale, up to table pose. Curl your toes under, sit bones up and back. Once again, bent knee, downward facing dog. And again, option to pedal the feet if you'd like. Inhale and exhale. And then as you're pedaling the feet, walk the feet again towards the hands, bending the knees as much as you need to. Back up to that standing forward bend. Inhale, halfway up, lengthen through the crown of the head. Exhale, fold all the way down, float the arms out to the side, come all the way back up. Bring the palms together. Exhale, bring the hands to the heart. Take a breath. Inhale and exhale. So coming again in this mountain pose position, little lateral flexion. So palms together again at the heart, mountain pose. Inhale the arms all the way up and overhead. Bring the arms into two parallel lines. Inhale and exhale. And then bring the right hand down to the hip. Take a nice deep inhale. Exhale, reach up and over to the right. So crescent moon here. Feel that nice, good length and stretch down the left side of the body. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, come all the way back up. Float that right arm all the way up to meet the left. Exhale, bring the left hand down to the hip. Exhale, reach up and over to the left. So take that stretch now, right side of the body. Notice any difference. Inhale and exhale. Inhale again, come all the way back up. Float that left arm up to meet the right. Palms together. Exhale, bring the hands to the heart. So if you're not at the end of your mat, let's come once again to the end of the mat. And from this position, we're going to start with the left leg as the leg that's stepping back. So turn the left foot a little towards the front corner of the mat, just kind of pivot on the heel. Feet are still hip distance apart. Hands to the hips. Now step that left foot about 2.5 to 3 feet back, and maybe even step it a little more to the left. So we want the feet to be hip distance apart. Turn the hips towards the front of your mat till they stop. And then think of squaring the shoulders towards the front of the mat. Nice deep inhale. Exhale, bend the right knee. Think of sending it towards the pinky toe. So we're coming into warrior one here. If your knee shoots past your ankle, walk your foot out a little further. Make sure the knee doesn't wing in or out. So right over top of the heel. Again, think of drawing that right hip crease a little bit back. Shoulders square towards the front of the mat. The hips do not need to be square. Again, just turn the hips till they stop. Shoulders square, sternum facing forward. Inhale, float the arms up and overhead, warrior one. So really press into the feet. Think of pressing into all four corners of the back foot. Think of lifting the inner arch of the back foot. Press into all four corners of the front foot. Find your breath. Inhale and exhale. And then bring the hands to the hips. We're going to come onto the toes of that back foot, lift the heel, step the back foot in just about a foot, straighten both legs. Then find your props. So I'm going to use my blocks here. You can also use your chair. So have it right down in front of you, and I'm going to stack them up. Everybody has a different height, different length of leg. So stack the blocks in a position where you can find a nice length in your spine as we come to this half forward bend. So you're going to hinge forward again at the hips, place the left hand on the block, bring the right hand to the sacrum, fingertips point towards the tailbone. Gently revolve your torso towards the right. Think of drawing that right shoulder back, lengthen through the crown of the head. Think of drawing that right hip crease back. Both kneecaps lift, don't lock the knee. Inhale and exhale. Again, your hand can be on a chair, a stool, a mounting block, whatever support you have. Taking our spinal twist here. And then slowly untwist, come back to center. Hands again to the hips. Inhale, coming all the way up. We're going to step that left foot up beside the right. Again, just make any adjustments. Find your mountain pose once again. Inhale, float the arms up. Interlace the fingers this time. Press up through the heels and the hands. Nice deep inhale. Exhale, reach up and over to your right. Take that crescent moon once again. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, reach up and over to the left. and back to center. Release the hands back to the hips. So now turn the right toes a little towards the front corner of your mat. Step the right foot back 2.5 to 3 feet. Again, maybe even walk it a little bit further to the right, or walk your left foot further to the left. Whatever gives you a nice distance, width-wise, hips distance, side to side. Draw that left hip back. Think of, again, turning the hips towards the front of the mat till they stop, and then maybe continue to turn the shoulders a little bit so they're more square with the front of the mat. Bend your front knee, walk it out a little further, that foot out a little further if your knee shoots past your ankle. Left hip crease draws back. Press into both feet. Think of drawing the lowest ribs towards the hips. Float the arms overhead. Inhale and exhale. Find this power in our Warrior One pose. Inhaling and exhaling, and then bring the hands again to the hips. So we're going to come onto the toes of the back foot. Again, step that foot about a foot forward and straighten both legs. So our foundation for our Revolve triangle pose. Left hand to the left hip crease, draw the left hip crease back. Nice deep inhale, exhale, hinge forward. Now right hand on the block, left hand to the sacrum, fingertips point towards the tailbone. Draw the left shoulder back, revolve your torso towards the left. Again, still thinking of drawing that left hip crease back. Inhale, variation here of Revolve triangle pose. Inhale and exhale. And then slowly again, untwist. Both hands again to the hips. You're going to soften the front knee, step that right leg up beside the left. Come to your mountain pose, pause for a breath. Inhale and exhale. And then just moving your props, whatever you were using, just out of the way, just off to the side. We're going to do a transition down to the mat. So inhale, float the arms up, palms together. Exhale, fold all the way down. Forward bend. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, bend both knees, hands to the mat. Step back to downward facing dog. Right leg and left leg step back. So again, check the alignment of the hands. Hands, shoulders distance apart, feet hip distance apart. Maybe keep the knees bent, maybe pedal the feet, maybe legs straight, whatever feels good for you. Inhale and exhale. And then gently release the knees down to the mat and curl the toes. Fold all the way back to child pose just for a transition. Take a breath, inhale and exhale. Hips towards the heels, forehead to the mat. Or stack your hands up if you need a little support between the forehead and the mat. And then very gently pressing into the hands, let's come back up to our table pose and then just swing the feet around. We're going to come to a seated position, seated twist. So you can use a blanket underneath the hips if you'd like. You do not have to, but it can give the hips a little bit more height. So I'm going to actually stay facing sideways here for our little twist. So if you'd like to lift your sit bones up onto the blanket, again, that can keep the back from rounding back. So again, option. So feet hip distance apart, knees bent, and then walk the feet and the knees and the ankles together. And have the feet a comfortable distance so you can still sit up nice and tall, nice length in the spine. And bring the right hand just across to the front of the legs, just below the knees, and let the fingertips just kind of either just rest on the top of the shin, or if you'd like, you can kind of wrap them around the calf a little bit. Inhale the left arm up and overhead, lengthen the spine. Exhale, release the hand down behind you. You can make a little tent with the fingertips, hand to your cushion or blanket, or make, again, a little tent with the fingertips under the blanket. Inhale, lengthening up. As you exhale, gently revolve your torso to the left. So spinal twisting. Inhale and exhale. So as you do this, you may find that your right hip wants to travel just a tiny bit forward, and that right knee may come a tiny bit forward. That's fine. If that feels best for your pelvis and sacrum, that's fine. Inhale and exhale. Again, find your breath. And then inhale, lengthen up through the crown of the head, untwist. As you untwist, float the arms up and overhead. Bring the palms together. Exhale, bring the hands to the heart. And now switching sides. So let's bring the left hand across, the left arm across. Again, maybe just resting below the knees, or maybe again, a little wrap around of that to the right calf. Inhale the right arm up. exhale, backstroke the hand down behind you. Again, find a comfortable position here. I have fairly short arms, so I usually make a little tent with the fingertips to help keep you lifted and lengthen up, and then gently revolve your torso to the right. Think of the collarbones being wide, lengthen up through the crown of the head and breathe. And then inhale again, lengthen up, untwist, come back to center, float the arms all the way up and overhead, palms together. Exhale the hands to the heart. Take a breath, inhale, and exhale. And then if you're seated on something, go ahead and slide that out from underneath you. Again, just place that off to the side, out of the way. Make sure you're at the end of your mat, feet still hip distance apart, knees bent. We're gonna come all the way down onto our back for a simple half bridge pose to finish our practice. So hands behind the thighs, inhale, lengthen up as you exhale, draw the belly in, slowly lower yourself all the way down on your mat. See if you can use those core muscles to help lower you down. Once you come down, feet underneath the heels underneath the knees, fingertips reach down towards the hips, gaze up towards the ceiling or the sky, wherever you are, draw the shoulder blades together. Press into the feet, inhale, lift up, straight line, shoulders to hips to knees. So we're just lifting the hips up, and then exhale and lower back down, one vertebrae at a time. So we'll do that a couple times. Press into the feet, press into the backs of the arms, the forearms, the palms as you lift up, and exhale again, lower back down. So this time we're going to lift and stay for a couple breaths. So pressing into the feet, inhale, lifting up. Make sure as the hips are lifted that you keep your gaze up towards, again, the ceiling or the sky. Do not roll your head to the side to take a peek at the video or look at someone else in the room. That is not a good position for your neck. If you need to make any adjustments, lower the hips down before you do that. Make sure you're breathing. And then very gently again, exhale, lower all the way back down. And then slide the feet out. The end of the mat, just let the feet flop open, let the hands rest down by your side, palms facing up. Close the eyes for a few moments. Focus again on your breath. Notice how you feel. And then as you're ready, let the eyes open. And gently draw the knees in towards the chest. Give them a little squeeze. And then roll over onto a side and gently make your way up to a seated position. Comfortable seat. Once you come to that comfortable seat again, maybe just close the eyes again for another moment. Inhale and exhale. And gently let the eyes open. Thank you for joining me today. I hope this practice helps you kind of in that fall transition. It can be a little tricky with the time change and just all of the activities that start to come up around this time of the year. We get really busy and sometimes our energy gets a little depleted. So hopefully this practice will help you with that. I hope to see you sometime soon in the saddle or on the mat. Have a great day. Thanks. Bye-bye.